There's this dream that I had since I was a little kid. Basically, I'm alone in a field holding a sword, and I'm looking across at a bunch of dudes with machine guns. And it's a situation, there's no way that I can win, yet I charge across at them anyway as they open fire. I used to wonder what this meant. And now I think it was maybe my brain sort of writing a report on reality, if you will. Because that's what life is, right? It's like this fucking firing squad that never stops shooting, and some part of you inside that refuses to hide or give up. Most people think that clarity comes from peace. Mine came from years of chaos, okay? From years of trying to make the world make sense and finally realizing there was no answer, just static. And that's when something kind of just cracked open in me, right? This little voice under the screaming advertisements and notifications saying, yeah, it's all meaningless. So what the fuck are you going to do about it? That is where everything actually starts, right? Your life. The moment you stop needing a reason, stop needing to win, and you take action anyway. Why? Because not taking action feels like a slow death. That's what Camus meant by rebellion. That's what I mean when I talk about charisma on this channel, right? Like not being liked or performing confidence, just being so fucking present that even the system itself kind of hesitates and goes, holy shit. Because if the world's going to burn, and it kind of seems like it is, I'd rather go down with my fingers white knuckle wrapped around its fucking throat, like alive and laughing, than survive like a pile of ashes that used to look like a man. So the stuff I talk about on this channel, this isn't fucking self-help, okay? This is philosophical combat. Most people are waiting to be rescued. From what? From boredom, from being seen. And they're waiting for this perfect moment where they're going to finally feel ready. I used to live there too. And then one day I just stopped. I went outside and I started talking to strangers. Thousands of them. Tens of thousands eventually. Like people who didn't know me politeness or anything for that matter. People who didn't give a fuck if I were to evaporate mid-sentence. Hell, some who even hoped I would. And in that process, I learned the world is built to ignore you until you give it a reason not to. So I became the fucking reason. And look, none of this was heroic. It was grotesque. The nights where I went home drunk, humiliated, sitting crying on some fucking curb somewhere, wondering, like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? What are you doing? But still showing up the next night. Because taking action, even humiliating action, hurt less than doing nothing. That's when I stopped believing confidence is a feeling, okay? Confidence became a practice of lucid rebellion. You know what all those fucking approaches taught me? It taught me courage has bad timing. Courage does not come before you act. It only comes after you do it. That's where the magic is. In those moments where your mind is like, no, don't fucking do this, but you keep going anyway. Because when you've been rejected enough times, you stop chasing approval and you start chasing fucking truth. That's charisma, okay? Not like the slick, polished, rehearsed kind, but the kind that grows out of repetition, out of challenge, out of refusing to stay in the little fucking box of social conditioning that's been prescribed for you. So if you're watching this and you're waiting for some like future version of yourself to feel ready, readiness is a myth invented by people who never swang that fucking sword. Your life starts when you move before the fear catches up, before you let all the excuses and rationalizations flow in like a tidal wave. Like, oh, I just have social anxiety. Welcome to the fucking club. So does everybody else. Again, most people think charisma is polish. No, it is rebellion in real time. It is the refusal to do what's expected, to stop trying to be liked and start playing with the moment. I had this student in Scottsdale a couple weeks ago, tall, good-looking guy, well-dressed, everything the internet says you need. Yet every single approach this guy did was like flat. You could feel it. He'd go up, he had this sort of like, hey girls kind of tone, like part customer service rep, part gay. In fact, they all said, are you gay? Are you gay? He was saying the right shit, but the energy was dead. It just felt like, please like me, please like me. So I took him aside. I'm like, look, dude, there's no fire in what you're doing. It's very like perfunctory. I want you to challenge these people a bit. Give them something different. And he looked at me kind of nervous because, he'd heard me say some pretty outrageous things to people that night. And he's like, dude, I can't say that shit. So I was like, all right, look, let's just start small. All right. I pointed at some girl at the bar. I'm like, look, go up to her and be like, so are you going to apologize? And he's like, oh shit. Like for what? Apologize for what? Doesn't matter. Like you could just go out and be like, You know what you did. You know what you did. Or you could just be like, apologize. You're going to apologize for what? Look, we both know you're going to have to eventually, so you might as well just get it out of the way. Hey, I'm Bill, blah, 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 right? It doesn't matter. Just go say it. So he goes in, boom. It was like an immediate shift. The girl lights up. She's like, haha, she pushes him on the shoulder playfully. The whole shit was alive in a way that it wasn't previously. And why is that? Well, it wasn't safe. It wasn't safe. It was, again, alive. That one stupid little line, not even that good, but that was more charismatic than 100 perfect openers. Why? Because it broke the script. It challenged reality. It said, I'm here and I'm unpredictable. That's lucid rebellion, aka charisma. Not begging these fucking people to love you. That's what I train into you on boot camp. Impulse. Freedom. The ability to, just improvise. Improvise on all the chaos. And most importantly, to enjoy it. Okay? Because if you don't enjoy it, it's not going to work. Period. But when you do, that's when you stop being like somebody who approaches, who's out there talking to people, and you become the axis the room spins around. So again, move first, think later. Because nobody's coming to fucking save you. So stop waiting for that. I mean, let's face it, right now your shit fucking sucks. You're derping around. Maybe you finally do get the nerve to do one half-ass approach, get blown the fuck out, go home and cry into the Uber Eats of sadness. And you're like, well, I'll get serious about it later, next week, after I finish this product, when I feel ready. But meanwhile, the clock is ticking. Deep down, you know that. Envision the opposite. Imagine storming into the venue with your eyes fucking lit up like a kid in a candy store, because you're ready to kick ass and have a massive amount of fun. Because you know what to do now. You walk up and people fucking love it. Not because you're like loud or crazy or any of this shit, just because you're somebody who's broadcasting certainty. Those conversations hit different, right? Money follows that kind of energy too. Why? Because it's rare as fuck. That's the return on investment. You become the person that everybody else calibrates to. And that skill, presence under fire, that pays forever. That's what we build on boot camp, not fucking theory, not tips and tricks. Live repatterning in the field until it clicks so deeply in your nervous system, it never fucking goes away. That's deep identity level change. I mean, look, I've been teaching these things pretty much every weekend for 23 years, okay? I'm really, really fucking good at it. Click the link in the description. Do it now. Let's fix your life. That moment in Scottsdale, a few weeks back, when the polished guy dropped the act and said something very simple and raw and alive, that's what this whole thing's about. You're not in this to get better. You got to wake the fuck up. The enemy is not rejection, it's hesitation, right? It's that little flinch inside that stops you from taking action. So what do you do when you're out and that paralysis hits? When you want to go talk to someone, but something's stopping you just can't do it, okay? I'm presenting this to you today. It is the Approach Anxiety Destroyer Sequence. 5 steps, 0 fucking bullshit. Number 1, when that happens, first you got to consciously examine your physicality, right? Because physical tension is the sort of enforcer that your mind uses to stop you from taking action. Like, oh, this might be bad. Stop this. So that physical tension will creep up subliminally and grab your fucking ass and you won't even know it. So do a tension check first, head to toe. Where am I tense? Clenched jaw, holding my breath, locked knees, maybe weird finger hand activity. Wherever it is, shake it out, loosen it up, let it go. Number 2, de-dramatize. Tell yourself, look, nothing bad is happening right now. These are just sensations I'm experiencing. I'm not being hunted. Number 3, destigmatize. You think you're the only person feeling this. This is unique to you. No, everyone feels it. Even I do. Even after 2 decades in the fire, everyone is affected by this shit to one degree or another. It is not unique to you. Number 4, acknowledge that you're speculating about bad outcomes. Your brain makes up these horror stories of what's going to happen. Oh, that's her boyfriend. They're going to be mad I interrupted. Da, 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 da. Again, that is speculation. And speculation is inadmissible in this game. Number 5, last but not least, say, if I'm going to tell stories, make up a better one. Make up a story that serves me. This is going to go amazing. Maybe I changed their whole night. Maybe I changed my whole life. All of those stories are just as legitimate as the potential failure ones. So choose the story that keeps you moving. That is the process. That's very consistently. That'll get you out of that paralysis. 5 steps, 10, 15 seconds, and boom, now you got a window where you can take action. Because the real goal isn't to kill the fear. It's for you to engage with it until you change your relationship with the uncertainty. That's when you become truly dangerous. Why? Not because you're fucking fearless. You just stop negotiating with hesitation. And look, that doesn't mean you're not going to get rejected. Not at all. Like, everyone who swings the sword bleeds. That is the price of aliveness. You know, you'll go out and you'll run that little anxiety destroyer sequence 100 times. You'll push through the fear and go, and you'll still fuck up. You'll still get weird looks. You'll get told, no, thank you, in a condescending tone. And in those moments, you're going to want to crawl back to that safety, that fake piece of inaction. But safety does not remember you. Only danger does. So yeah, you will bleed. Your ego will fucking die. The old you dies in front of witnesses, but that's a good thing. Why? Because every single rejection burns off another layer of bullshit. The people pleaser, the nice guy who's like running a PR campaign for his own fucking existence. And when those parts fall away, what's left is terrifying and beautiful. What is it? You. Totally unfiltered and fucking unapologetic. And the world cannot resist authenticity like that. Again, it's too rare. You know, you'll hear people to start asking you, like, who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you guys? That's how you know you're on the right path. So yeah, you'll bleed. They may not like it, but they're never going to forget it. and along the way, when you do this, you end up building a life that actually feels like it's yours. That energy, it bleeds into your conversations. It bleeds into your relationships. It bleeds into your work. It bleeds into your bank account. People hire that energy. They date it. They follow it. And once you learn how to broadcast that, you stop chasing opportunities and they start chasing you. They really fucking do. But you have to earn that. How do you do it? You earn that by showing up when, quite frankly, it's easier not to. So again, it's that same old dream. You know, alone in the field, the guns are pointed at you. You got that same choice. You can keep watching these fucking videos, pretending that the next piece of information is finally going to make you feel ready. Come on, dude. Like, you already know how that story ends. You wake up another month, same old shit, or you can take action. You can move now. Click the link, book your spot, show up. The boot camp is not fucking theory. It is the glorious arena. You know, you step into that noise, the fucking chaos, and you will remember what being alive actually feels like. And after that program, you're not just going to feel different, you're going to be different. Not because you like learned the tricks, rather because we will drag your nervous system kicking and screaming out of survival mode, and we rewire it for leadership. That's what we train. That's what you will take home with you and use to improve literally every part of your life. So click the link. Let's do this shit. Because, you know, this isn't about smiling in theory. It's about smiling while the world shoots back at you. And that's it. Honestly, that's really the whole game. This is Jeffy, and I'll see you next time.
I'm just getting off Jeff's boot camp, and I went in not really knowing what to expect. The amount of growth that I saw in one weekend was incredible. I'd highly recommend this to anybody who's serious about actually changing the way that they live, that they approach, and that they get shit done. I had a fucking fantastic experience. I feel more comfortable with myself. I feel more comfortable approaching, and I feel like, in general, I have a newfound confidence to be able to be myself. If you want to change, this is worth it. So give it a shot.